Good evening, everybody. Will Torres here with VSN. Welcome to a beautiful night at Imperial High School at Simpson Shimashoto Field. Beautiful night for a different kind of events. It's spring high school football. With me is my partner since day one, Ron Rubio. And tonight we have the Holtville Vikings traveling down to Imperial High School for a game that Imperial comes down here, Ronnie. They come beat up.
It was a tough game for the Holtville Vikings last week. They may be out two running backs and their big guns, and that's Jose DeVoe and Ramos. So we'll see where DeVoe was supposed to be a game-time decision. Well, let's see what Turner has for us.
That's exactly what Turner had told us. It was going to be a game-time decision. And before we get into Holtville and the Brawley game last night, and we spoke to Coach Shaw last night, we have a special announcement statement from Coach Shaw and Imperial Tigers, and we'll get with you on that. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to once again Imperial High School for a beautiful, wonderful night of football. We have the Holtville Vikings visiting the Imperial Tigers, and like I mentioned earlier, I have a special announcement from Coach Shaw and all Imperial Valley, especially the community of Imperial here. Coach Shaw, they lost a loved one, Tammy Derrick, and on behalf of Derrick and the football team. On behalf of Coach Shaw and the football team, Coach Shaw sent me a little statement he'd like to read off. Tonight's game versus Holtville is dedicated to the memory of Tammy Derrick. She was a lifelong Imperial resident and graduated of Imperial High. Tammy passed away earlier this year, and she will be missed by all. She was the ultimate Tiger fan who was always involved in the booster and athletic events. She was a staple here when it came down to sports in Imperial High School, Ron. I don't know. Did you ever have a chance to see her?
No, I never met her, but I did hear she was one of the biggest boosters you had out here, and that's what every school needs, someone like Tammy. Very good, very good.
Well, I did have a couple of instances with her, especially being a referee. If you're a referee, you got to know her,
nice.
Especially if you were in the gyms to come and watch a volleyball game or a basketball game. That lady was full of energy, and Imperial was lucky to have her all these years and proud supporter. So tonight's game is dedicated to her, to Tammy Derrick. Now, let's get on with the business on hand right now. Ron, last week, the Holtville Vikings hosted the Brawley Wildcats, and there was a 1-point deficit in the game. Holtville went into halftime, Ron, with a score of 20-7, and then the Wildcats, Coach Self found something that he saw, turned things around, and were able to come back and go ahead with a 1-point lead. Your thoughts on that game, Ron?
Well, the bottom line on that football game that opened up the season for VSN last week, Brawley versus Holtville, was a tale of two halves. The first half, total control by the Holtville Vikings, who went up 20-0 with a minute 20 left in the first quarter. Will, what happens after that? Lightning struck for the Wildcats. They were able to get a touchdown in before halftime. Holtville goes in with a 20-7 lead at half, and then the tables turn coming in the third quarter. Brawley receives a kickoff, drives it downfield. They get stopped at the 3-yard line with the fumble. Holtville recovers. Their lead is intact, 20-7. Brawley gets a 3-and-out, and the things changed after that one series, Will. And Brawley went on a 16-2 run, which led to a 23-22 victory against the Vikings.
Well, but the Vikings, even though they did lose by 1 point, Ron, they lost a lot more. So Coach Turner today told us that Jose DeVoe is out for tonight's game. I'm sorry, Ramos is out for today's game. Jose DeVoe is a game-time decision. So we, like the rest of people watching tonight, are going to watch to see what Jose DeVoe can do for us tonight.
Well, we're looking out there, and as we're getting ready for the national anthem, I'm not sure where the Vikings are still in prayer mode over here. Don't know if I've seen Jose DeVoe out there.
Good evening and welcome to Shimamoto Simpson Stadium. Tonight's game between the Holtville
And while we get
and
ready for our
Imperial
national anthem,
Tigers.
I'd like to make an announcement from some of our sponsors. Nate Fairman from the EBEW group would like to say, just wanted to say a thank you to all the essential workers at Imperial Valley District. They're proud members of the EBEW Local Union 465, keeping the lights on and the power flowing during this COVID pandemic. God bless our utility workers at the IID. That's from Nate Fairman, president of IBEU, as we get ready to do our national anthem. And while they're still working on playing the national anthem here, we talked to Coach Shaw last night, Ronnie.
Yes.
And some of the things that Coach Shaw says, look, they're going to keep things simple today. You know what they got? They got a couple of plays left, a couple of plays right. Right now is, with only 2 weeks of practice, Ron, Coach Shaw just wanted to make the simplest things around. And now we go to our national anthem. And welcome back. We are minutes away, less than 2 minutes to kickoff. And one of the other notes for tonight, refereeing tonight's game, is White Hat John Seaman in the middle after a recovery from surgery that he missed the entire last season. Alan Phillips. Also, as a flank official, we're going to have Sal Carrillo. And on the line judge, we're going to have Gabriel Castro. And back judge will be probably one of the best referees all around, the young guns coming around, Nate Binkins, and that is your officiating crew for tonight. So Ron, talking to Coach Shaw last night, some of the things that he did, some of the things that he said, some of the things that he was going to do. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, one thing on the offensive side that all Coach Shaw wants to do, no matter if he's going to keep a vanilla, very simple offense, he wants to go fast, and we call that NASCAR in football. He has 35 seconds to run a play. He's going to try to run a play every 15 seconds. So buckle up, Holtville defense, if you're trying to stop that offense. He has it. He has the new quarterback in him, and that's going to be Joaquin Alvarado. Alvarado is taking over for a transfer that transferred out to Central High. Alvarado has his chance. Alvarado has put in some extra work over the offseason, Will, and he's lost, I think Shaw said, near 25 pounds. He's down to 185, looking pretty good out there. And also, the keys to victory is, as I said, on offense, Imperial wants to go fast. Defensively, there's only 3 words that the defense is saying: stop the run. Stop the run, something that gave Brawley headaches last week. And Holtville has the offensive line to do it and the running backs to do it. They may be shorthanded on the running back side, but don't sell Turner and the Holtville Vikings short, Will.
As we look onto the field right now, we have the Holtville Vikings winning the toss, and they will receive, Ronnie. That's one of the things that Shaw did say. He wants to keep it simple, but at the same side, on the offensive side of the ball, Ronnie, David Shaw, all he wants to do is line up at the line of scrimmage, run maybe 10, 15%, and the rest. In fact, David Shaw said he wants to set up his running game by his passing game. That's what he was telling us last night, Ron.
What they like to do, they'll line up in a double set. We call it doubles. Everybody has a different name for it. It's spread. You'll have 2 receivers on both sides. You could have trips on both sides, meaning 3 receivers on one side. That opens up running lanes, and hopefully just by formation, that's going to help the blocking for the Imperial Tigers tonight.
And as we get ready to kick off for the Imperial Tigers, we got number 13 kicking off for them, and that is Ethan Gonzalez.
And here we go, folks. It's time for kickoff time, and here come the Imperial Tigers kicking off their 2020/2021 season. Ethan Gonzalez, number 13, big kid, kicking off. Back to receive for the Holtville Vikings, number 9, Dorian Mays, and I believe that's number 8, C.J. Nunez. And the kick is up. It looks like it's going to be Nunez at the 10. Has taken it up the middle. Nunez to the 30. He's at the 40. 1 yard line, a good return for Nunez. So great field position, just like last week. They had good returns. They started their ball was at the 30 and above. So great starting point for them.
But one of the things we noticed, even though Holtville did have great starting position last week, the kicking game wasn't there for either team. But right here, we see the Imperial Tigers with a good kicking game, but Holtville was still manageable to get 30 yards on that kickoff return, Ron.
A good return, and that may be, Will, something one game experience does for you. Quarterbacking that's the give to. Is that Jeremiah Higgins, number 22?
Yeah, it sure is.
Jeremiah Higgins, no, it's not.
It was number 22, Ron, it was. And that is probably the last thing that anybody from Holtville wanted to see is on the first play of the game or early in the game, you have one of the key players from the Holtville Vikings wanting to get up, but they're going to keep them down for a good thing.
Well, that's Jeremiah Higgins, Will, and the kid last week lined up in the single wing formation. He was their sniffer back. So he was up to the line of scrimmage, basically taking a short snap and getting 4 or 5 yards per carry.
And one thing I want to say while we have a little break, lucky he's coming off his own power right now, Ron. We did gain 2 guests. Coach Turner's mom and dad actually, gave us some props, and Coach Turner relayed that message to us. So, Mr. and Mrs. Turner, we're glad you're listening again. Hope all is well. Stay safe out there and enjoy the game tonight.
Eric Garcia is a quarterback for the Holtville Vikings, and it looks like Jeremy Higgins did leave the game. The give us to 24. No, it's not. I was faked out. Nice hand movement there by Garcia. Fake to 24 and give back to. I did not catch the running back there. So it's a gain of 2 yards.
They gave him 2 yards on that, but the forward momentum on that part.
3rd and a long 4, I'll call it. Again, Garcia's in shotgun formation. The give is to 24. Looks he finds a way. Great play by Peyton Knighton for the first down. They're going to mark it.
It's going to be a first down there, Ronnie. They're going to mark it a first down.
First offensive series last week, there was a 3 and out. DeVoe was a quarterback. They were trying to figure something out. Now they're more in an organized, well, not organized, but looks like an offense that they worked over the week, Will.
Yeah. The Holtville Vikings is the type of team right now that, hey, listen, we go down, we got to get somebody in there. Doesn't matter if you 3rd, 4th string, man, you're ready to go. And we're going to get some movement on the ball now. Do they mark it off on the defensive side, or are they going to get the right tackle, number 57 on that? And it looks like it's going to go against the Holtville Vikings, which is still going to make it first down, 1st and 15 to go. Now, one thing I do have to give credit to, that offensive line, even though when they went down with Jose, they went down with Ramos last week, that offensive line kept driving them through on there. They kept
driving. And speaking of number 57, Alonso Ambrosio. Ambrosio pulled like crazy last week. He was a pulling guard. He opened up a lot, and I think he's at tackle, but he was pulling, a great pulling kid. And here's the pass by Garcia, slant intended for Mays. Thrown a little bit behind him, well defended on the play by number 24, of the Tigers, and that's going to be Damon Meza.
Yeah, David Meza had great coverage. Even though the pass was thrown behind him, Ron, Imperial playing good defense right there.
So a 2nd down and 15. The illegal procedure sets him back 5 yards from the first down, so 2nd and 15. Garcia's out, and in is Damian Rodriguez at quarterback. So Rodriguez now taking the snaps, fakes. It's a toss, and that's number 8, C.J. Nunez, right off his hands. Very catchable ball, thrown out into the flat area, and incomplete pass off his hands, bringing up now a 3rd and 15.
Now, C.J. Nunez, he's one of those type of receivers we saw last week that was making plays. He knows that was a catchable ball. It would have been close for a first down, but now that puts the Holtville Vikings in a situation where it still makes it 3rd and 15 to go with approximately 9:50 go with the stop clock in the first quarter.
3rd down from the 47-yard line of their own. The Vikings are looking at a long 3rd and 15. Is there a blitz? It's a bad snap, and he falls on top of it. So a bad snap, an illegal procedure, a bad snap on 3rd down is going to force the Vikings to punt the ball on 4th and 15.
And while the Holtville Vikings get ready for a punt formation, we have an early score north of Imperial with the score 8-0. Brawley is leading Southwest. That's other action going on in Imperial Valley. You will also see Vincent Memorial playing at Mount Empire, and then you will have the Central Spartans hosting the Calexico Bulldogs.
But it looks like we have a timeout on the field. Timeout Tigers.
Well, Ron, that's one of those, if we have a timeout Tiger right now, it must have been some kind of line formation because now Holtville didn't, I sense a little pace now, and it's understandable too because after they came out on fire last week, now they're a little bit beat up. Some of their key players are beat up right now, but some of those plays that we just saw right now, I mean, two of them were close to being catchable plays. Holtville still they came to play. They're not going to take their foot off the pedal one bit.
Well, one positive thing of their first drive, they got a first down in the first set of downs. An incomplete pass. Now they kind of shot themselves in the foot. A drop pass on that swing to number 8 Nunez. A thrown pass behind Mays. Back to punt is number 8 C.J. Nunez. Deep to receive is number 15 Christopher Tiernan. Tiernan is a sophomore. Takes a bounce at the 30. He's going to field it 30, 35. No blocking on the side. The wedge may have been set up in the middle. And he'll carry that ball up to the 40-yard line. So, again, good starting field position for the offense.
Now, this is what the people have been waiting from Imperial. This is what they've been waiting for. Coach David Shaw, even though it's Coach David Shaw's first year here, he is not new to head coaching. He has traveled Imperial County. He's been a coach at Calapat. He's been a coordinator at Vincent Memorial. He's even got mentored a little bit by John Self in Brawley. This is what it's all about. He lines his guys up. He calls the signals. Once they line up, he looks at the defense, and he gets ready to call his plays. Now, they check off from the coach, and he's going to take what Holtville gives him, Ron.
We have a double set. That's 2 receivers on ball. And they give us to Adams, 28, and he's around the right side. He's at the 50, 45, a gain of 15 yards. So here he comes. The spread, just like he says, if you spread them out, the defenders have got to go to the receivers, opened up a lane to the right, sweep right, 15-yard gain for Brendan Adams.
Now, one thing about Brendan Adams I saw, he runs sleek, Ronnie. He's a very fluid, very good motion on his body. He looks like a powerful runner from up here.
Joaquin Alvarado's a signal call to give us to Adams up the middle. He's trying up the middle. Gains maybe 2 yards, and he's brought down by number 8, C.J. Nunez on the tackle.
Well, one of the things you're going to see out of Holtville, once they adjust to this quick set and Imperial Tiger offense, you're going to see Coach Turner adjust to them, and he'll get something going. I mean, some of the plays that were pulled out from number 4, Andrew Luma from the Holtville Vikings. I'm sorry, that's Jonathan Hertz.
The give is back to Adams up the middle. They're trying it up again. He has a crease this time, a gain of maybe 4 yards on that play. Up to the 39-yard line of the Vikings. It's going to be a 3rd down, a 3rd and 4. Ball's on the right hash. They're still sticking with the doubles formation. I haven't seen trips yet, but it looks like they have trips to the left, 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Adams is his only back next to Alvarado.
I believe Coach Shaw might be setting up
And
for a pass.
another error by number 68 there from the Vikings.
And that's one of the things we didn't see, Ron. A lot of mistakes for being a first game against the Brawley Wildcats last week. Not till the end of the game where there's some mistakes, Ronnie. But as of right now, we're seeing these kind of mistakes early, and those are the kind of things that we thought we'd see against Imperial right here.
You just gave him a first down with being offsides, and what does a defensive lineman do? He looks at the ball, not listen to the quarterback. Shotgun formation. He throws. It's a quick hitch, and it's complete at the 25-yard line.
And it's completed by number 5 of Imperial. That's Luis De La Torre.
Luis De La Torre, he's a senior. And that's one thing that Shaw is very proud of. He has a slew of receivers. He has Jesse Nichols. He has De La Torre. He has quite a bit of players out there that can catch the ball. Again, trips to the left, right hash. He's looking to the trip set. He throws to number 1. It's complete, and a great tackle by number 9, Mays. So that was number 1 for the that's Jesse Nichols. Just talked about the kid. He's a junior, very athletic kid. It's first year of football, I believe Shaw said. Great hands on that. Caught the ball and took a pretty good hit from Mays and held on to the ball for another Tiger first down.
Now, with Tigers driving the ball like this is one of the things, even though they're passing the ball and then running off to the right, they're controlling the clock right now. So with 6:34 and running, that's in the first quarter.
Motion by number 10. He's looking again to throw. He throws another quick deep out intended for Jesse Nichols. Incomplete. 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line. I'm going to say the 22-yard line. I'm sorry. The 22-yard line for the Tigers. They're moving the ball pretty good. This drive started at the 40-yard line. They mixed the run with the pass pretty well, and that's what Shaw wants to do, mix both. He doesn't want to be dependent on either one, run or throw. Trips to the right. Brennan Adams is a single back with Joaquin Alvarado. He's a little bit of a slant to number 10, intended for number 10, and that was Alejandro Perez. A little bit of a post, slant, skinny post, incomplete, 3rd and 10.
And covered by number 6 of the Vikings, Donovan Johnston. Ron, this game is important for both teams, Ron. They have something to prove, especially Holtville losing by 1 point last week. Imperial, they're going to be the tiebreaker tonight. That's the thinking that we got. I mean, this is an important game to see what each team has out here.
Trips to the right, single receiver up to the left of Alvarado. He's looking, he's rushing. He's being brought down by C.J. Nunez. Great call by defensive coordinator. And Albert Valenzuela. He brought the blitz. He brought the pressure. It was there. 4th and he lost a good 10 yards on that, Will.
Yeah, definitely took him out of field goal position out here. But Shaw's the type of coach doesn't hesitate with like that. You know that he's going to be going for it anytime that he gets in this range.
So now you have to wonder, are you going for it on 4th and 20 because you don't have a place kicker, and you're not going to punt the ball. Pressure by Heraz, and he gets his arm of Alvarado, brings him down. So they brought pressure on the last 2 plays from the outside, and it bothered the rhythm of the passing. So turnover on downs. There's nothing, a good drive, got a couple of first downs.
It's very positive if you're a Holtville Viking fan to see that. You're going, oh, my God, Imperial is starting to drive the ball on the Vikings right here. But yet when it came down to crunch time, close to inside the red zone, the Holtville Vikings were able to get the ball back on a turnover on downs.
Now you see the kind of coach he wants to be. He threw 3 down. He threw 3 straight passes. Here's a give to 22. Higgins is back. Nice to see. He runs off to the right side of the offensive line and gains a good chunk of yards. I'm going to give him 5 yards on that carry, Will.
Well, this is with 5:29, 5:28, and the clock running in the first quarter. These are one of the things that Holtville Vikings has to sustain a drive here and at least put Imperial back into their end zone. Back into their territory to keep them out of the end zone.
2nd down, and let's say 5. The give is back to Higgins. No, that is just something. And that's number 6. He is nice little run there.
A little razzle dazzle there
by Donovan Johnston. And Donovan Johnston had a carry last week, I believe. And I'm telling you, this is I'm not sure if that was a counter or reverse. I'll catch it the next time.
It was an inside handoff, and then Johnson came back with reverse to the opposite side, and he was able to go outside and then cut it back up the middle.
I'm going to start calling these plays a Turner twist because I've never seen these before. Garcia's a quarterback. The give is back to Higgins. Higgins off the right side again. He cuts back. Nice. Runs over one of his players now. Wow.
Now,
Great carry by Jeremiah Higgins. Tackles brought down by Jesse Nichols. When Seth Shaw,
now,
son of David Shaw.
Ronnie, so we have not seen Holtville's key running backs here. That's where
No.
Johnston and Higgins have to step up their game right now.
It looks like no wrong. Well, for sure no wrong. And back to Higgins again and back to the right side. And does he fall forward for a first down? Does he get it? So they find something on that right side. And I'm going to tell you something. If you're running behind number 75, if you're running behind Roman Ordonez and number 4, Jonathan Heraz, when you got those two cats lined up together, oh, my God.
And don't forget number 57, Alonso Umbraco. He's just, that whole right side is doing a great job for
The
the
give
running.
is back, and they're running back to the right side. This time it's stopped by a host of Tigers. That looks like number 27. That is Mr. Shaw, Stephen Shaw.
Now, he
Stephen
did
Shaw
tell
was on
us-
top, and somebody was on the bottom.
He did tell us, even though he's a sophomore, that little kid's a little headhunter going out there.
Stephen is a senior. Seth is a sophomore. Second down and 10 for the Vikings. The ball is at the Tiger 40-yard line, right hash. They're staying in the same set. Garcia's a quarterback. He's going to throw a fake to Mays. Mays is there, and it's a little bit overthrown.
Now,
Incomplete on the coverage was number 24-4. That's Damon Mesa. Damon Mesa is a senior for the Tigers. Good coverage there.
good coverage
very
and,
good
and
coverage.
good pass. I mean, that ball, that was just great coverage on that play, Ron. And one thing we learned from these Holtville Vikings is they can air it out.
Third down and 10. Vikings quick to the line. Mays is split out to the left. CJ, number 8. CJ Nunez and Heras split to the right. Fakes, and that's number 2. Oh, he is going. That is quarterback, and they're switching up. So Damian Rodriguez is alternating with Eric Garcia, and not a bad deal. Not a bad deal.
Yeah.
A gain of maybe 6 yards on the play, make it a third and a long 7.
Now-
Fourth and a long 7. I'm sorry.
Ron, I don't think that was a broken play.
No.
That might have been an
Well-
intended play. He faked the inside, and he just read it. Was that the RPO?
That was just play action. You know, they've been hitting him with that run to the right side, and let's see what the receivers could get. He ran to the short side of the field. He had 2 receivers on the short side, and he's got that big, tall kid
Yeah.
over there. That is Jonathan Heras. So 4th down, fakes to Higgins. He's looking. He has plenty of time. He's throwing it downfield, incomplete, overthrown. Had lots of time. He had a good ball, just overthrown by a mile.
Yeah, the only thing is now you're going to get turnover on downs where you're going to have Imperial taking over right here.
So-
But not bad, not a bad showing. You know, you got to consider Coach Turner had to turn his whole offense around with all the new personnel. The good thing is, Ron, that offensive line is not that much beat up and was able to give him protection to get the pass off.
They were able to string a couple of first downs on that series. Now it's going to be second possession for the Tigers with 2:13 remaining in the first quarter. Second series of the season for Shaw. Shaw and them had a scrimmage versus Calexico last week. Got cut short, got a little bit chippy. The give is back to Brennan Adams. Adams finding his way to the left side. He's up to the maybe 36-yard line, 37-yard line. Second down and 7, gain of 3.
And with under 2 minutes to go in the first half, you know, we have the Imperial Tigers driving. That'd be to the north, driving to the north against and
Heading
no
north,
score, of
heading
course.
north, heading
we have no
north.
score, and we have 3 timeouts for the Holtville Vikings and 2 timeouts left for Imperial Tigers.
Double set on both sides. The give is back to Adams. Adams looks for the middle, and it's closed down again.
Well, once Holtville gets in that rhythm, you know, once they get back into it, once they get, you know, they had to let that game go by Monday, Ron. They had to let it go, and they had to start concentrating on Imperial. And so, so far, we have a very good game, a scoreless first quarter.
Tackle on that play was by number 4, Jonathan Heraz. Heraz is a tall kid. He's the kind of kid that Looks like he should be playing college ball. Lines up on the end. Here's the pressure. It's coming. He gets while Alvarado gets around it. They had him for a loss. And they gave it up on the tackle. Number 68 is Nathan Maturino. And they had him for a loss. Now it's a 4th down and a long one. I'm going to give him a long 1.5 yards to go for that. And Shaw's going for it. The Tigers are going to go for it. 46 seconds remaining. Are they going to run another play, or do they let the quarter run out, Will?
Well, you have 40 seconds. They're going to have to
He's
snap
running,
the ball.
he's running. He's going to snap, and they get him offsides again. So the hard count gets him again and again. Hey, football 101 on defensive line. You don't listen to the count. What do you do, Will?
Nah, all you got to do is look in the inside for that ball.
Look at
That's
that
all
ball
you gotta
movement.
do. Don't worry
They
about
can yell and scream all they want.
Yeah.
That ball don't move. You don't move. So that's a second offsides by, and the second time an offsides is giving him a first down.
And while we have a moment right now, we have the score north. We have Brawley 8, Southwest 7. So, Ron, a little bit of
Alvarado looking. He's being pressured. He throws it down the middle. Intended for number 4, and we're going to get a passes intended for Andrew Luna, and on the coverage was
Peyton
CJ.
Ayton.
Eight.
And that was a pretty obvious pass interference by number 24.
Peyton Ayton grabbed him by the shoulders. It was well played, and yeah, he must have yanked him. So.
Yeah, right in front of the ref. Now, that was still great coverage on that.
Now, Will, I'll explain to the folks out there, what do we do on pass interference? Is it on the
pass
spot or is it
no,
yardage?
Negative. So in high school, it's never changed. It's always going to be 15 yards, not where the play's at. It doesn't have to be catchable. It's always going to be a 15-yard penalties unless you're inside the 30, where it's half the distance to the goal line.
Is that number 51 Bishop in the backfield?
So we're going to have a penalty before, or are we going to have – we're going to have a stoppage of the clock regardless.
Hey, let me ask you a question, Referee Will. Okay, we have
dead ball foul against Imperial Tigers. It'll still be first down, but it'll be 1st and 15.
We had a running back, number 51, Ethan Ramos, lined up back there. Is that an eligible receiver with that number,
now,
even though he's a running back?
By rule, you have to be numbered between 70 and 50 from tackle to tackle. Now, have the rules changed? Have they allowed it? I'm not real sure about that. But you do have to be numbered right in the correct position.
Well, he's a bull, and he's taking it all the way up to Ethan Ramos. Man, he lines up like a running back, but, boy, that jersey doesn't make him look like one.
No, and I'm really curious. Back in the day, Ron, we have into the first quarter here, and with the score tied 0-0, Ron, this game is getting played in the middle of the field right here. And let me just announce right now, we do have a score in Brawley versus the Southwest Eagles. We have Brawley 8, Southwest 7. Are you surprised by that? Hey, listen, Southwest does have something going on because, Ron, the score was 7-0 last week at halftime. So they made a lot of mistakes where Vincent Memorial was able to score. Maybe Vincent Memorial does have a team. But, look, we're not going to be worried about that because right now we have the Holtville Vikings and Imperial Tigers, and we have a great game going on right here in front of us. And we'll be right back after this.
Back live. Alvarado looks. He throws.
Did he catch
No,
that?
it was incomplete. Pass intended for, I believe that was dilatory.
Beacons comes in there and makes the call on that it was an incomplete pass. He had perfect coverage to make that call. So at the start of the second quarter, with the score still 0-0, on the timeout situation, we still have Brawley Holtville with 3 timeouts and Imperial Tigers with 2.
We have a 3rd down and 12. Tigers in a trip set to the right. He looks to his right, to his left, and that's a completed pass. And that's the kid that Shaw was really interested in, Jesse Nichols, 11th junior, number 1, caught the pass. Now makes his 4th down and 4 very doable with that completion. So
Still good.
Alvarado was spraying that ball pretty good, man.
Yeah, he is. And you know what? Number 9, Dorian May still had good coverage on that.
Mays had a pretty good ball game last week, a couple of receptions, and played defense very well against the Wildcats. So here we go again. Beautiful. I love that scene, Will. Thank you for opening up that window. Here we go. Trips to the right. Alvarado's looking to his right. He tosses. A little bit behind, but with a great adjustment by number 4, Andrew Luna, and that's a first down. And let me tell you, Shaw was saying that Alvarado is a very good baseball player. He's a pitcher. And, man, he's throwing darts right now. He's throwing fastballs right down where they need to be.
Good for
Tight
him.
windows, and he's putting it in there.
You know, that's one of the things I missed last week, that crowd noise, Ron.
So here we go. Yeah, it sure is. And we got trips to the right. The back is Adams again. Adams up the middle. Adams may gain 3 yards on that. Hey, that's positive yardage. That's good. That's good running yards.
Well, the whole evening, Brendan Adams has had positive yards. They have not had him in the backfield yet. He's had about 4+ yards every carry, Ron.
Adams is out. Shaw is in. That's number 2. That is Seth Shaw, the sophomore, who's also done a miraculous job with his training this season, off season. He's gained about 30 pounds. A give is to Shaw. He takes it right up the middle, met by a host of Vikings, led by number 55 and number 10. Number 10, man, number 10, we know who that cat is. That's number 10, Ryder Merton, linebacker.
And number 55 is Cade Dremel.
Damarell's a pretty good ball player there. Tall, lanky kid.
Physical kid, yes.
So 3rd down after 2 runs. We're looking at a 3rd and 7.
Now, these Tigers are going to be going in and out, because
They
that's
have
one
them.
thing Shaw doesn't want. He don't want to tire him out, Ron.
So trips to the right. The back he's looking to his receiver on the left, and he's overthrown. So that's going to bring him down a 4th and 7. Intended for Nichols.
Well, we hope you're enjoying our broadcast VSN. Once again, I'm Will Torres with my partner Ron Rubio. And we have a breakout in the field right now. John Siemens calling the stoppage in the clock, and we have a timeout against the Wildcats. And right now that we have a little bit of time, once again, this game tonight is being dedicated to Tammy Derrick, long life Imperial resident and big-time sports supporter of Imperial Tigers. Also, we'd like to thank the Vesey Farms for being appreciative to the VSN broadcast, along with Frank's Graphic Graffiti and Nate Fairman from the IBEW union, supporting 800+ employees at the IID. Nate says, support your local student athlete at your local high school. So, before the quarter starts, after this timeout, we'll be right back.
Yeah, you were.
Was I on the air?
No, I was muted.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, but did you hear my announcements? All right, let's go.
Okay, 4th down. 4th down for the Tigers. Alvarado's looking. He's being rushed, and he's wide open, and he skips the ball. Short hops it to number 4, intended for Andrew Luna. Short hopped it and turns the ball over. So turnover on downs to the Vikings. The Vikings hold the Tigers, who had another impressive drive.
Ron, we have gotten no teams get inside the 20-yard line on both sides of the field. They're actually driving the ball very well, Ron, but once they get close to the 20-yard line marker, before they get to inside the red zone, both defenses are making stops on both sides.
That drive there stalled by the Tigers. It was the deepest penetration in anyone's territory. It stalled at the 17, I believe. So here we go. Eric Garcia back at quarterback. The give is to Higgins. Higgins gives it back to number 6, Donovan Johnson. So there's that little reverse. Some people will call it a counter. I didn't see a guard pull, but it looked like a reverse. The handoff to Higgins. Higgins hands it back to the wing, coming back the other way. So that is no gain at all. 2nd down and 10.
That tackle was made by number 6 in on it. That's Nathan Villalobos, man. So a little bit of hard hitting there on the line of scrimmage.
Well, yeah, that kid's not. He's not someone that you can easily come down. It looks like the Tigers jumped on that one, and John Seaman agrees. So it's going to be a second down and 5 yards the easy way.
And with 9:35 left before half, the clock will start running again. We have a score update. We have the score is 14-7. Brawley is up on Southwest.
Second down and 5. Garcia is the quarterback. The snap to give it to Higgins. Higgins up the middle. Higgins is going to bull his way for another maybe 3 yards. He's going to be short by 2.5 yards.
And leading the tackle, leading the block there for the Holtville Vikings is number 62. That whole line, I've just been very impressed with it. That's Alan Marcus on the right-hand side. Him and, of course, number 75, Ramon Ardonis, are just doing a great job for the Holtville Vikings when they start their running game, Ron.
Third down and a long one. Garcia gives it to Higgins. Higgins slipped in the backfield, but he may have been able to gather his feet and get the first down. I don't know. It looks like that flank is spotting him short.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be short, but he's a very shifty runner, Ron. I mean, he runs light on his feet when you see him cutting back.
He's low to the ground, and he does make some quick moves for his size. So it's going to be 4th and inches, man. We're looking across at the yardsticks, and they're right there.
Yeah.
Will they measure? And I guess they will.
Now we're going to have a timeout on the field right now, and I think we're going to have a little measurement. Yeah. So while we have a little bit of time again, once again, I'd like to repeat the scores. Actually, we're getting updates only from the Brawley Southwest game, and I had said earlier that score right now is non-change. It's still 14-7. Brawley is leading that game, and they are into the second quarter down here. Right here, we have 8 minutes and 30 seconds left while we're doing a measurement, and the score: Imperial Tigers 0 and the Holtville Vikings 0. And Ron, like we had said earlier, this game is getting played in between both 20-yard lines. Both teams have been driving. That's they've been doing pretty good. A little bit of passing, a little bit of running, and but they just can't get inside the red zone, Ron.
Well, it's 4th and inches. I mean, 4th and I wouldn't say 6 inches.
This is risky right here, Ron. Coach Turner. I mean, listen, Coach Turner's the type. He's going for it. He's thrilled to be here. He's thrilled to be playing on a Friday night. I believe he's going to go for that. Now, he might try to go for that little hard count. We'll see what he does.
He may try to draw him off with the hard count, as you said. Garcia's back, and they're going to call a timeout.
And I thought he might have had it right there, but yeah. They're going to have to think this one over, and we'll see what.
CJ Nunez may be coming out to punt. Number 8 was the one who was back to punt last time they punted, so maybe they are. And, it's just, if you go under center, you might have a chance with the quarterback sneak. But if you're back there 6 yards, you're getting the snap, and you're trying to get 6 inches, you do the math. It's not going to work. I mean,
the odds are not.
The odds aren't in your favor. So,
but the thing is, also, he's had to start with the whole new backfield this week. So, that I'm sure that had something to do with it, Ron. Because if he might have had his regular backfield,
man.
look how many times they ran the sniffer last week with the up back, the fullback position right over the guard with a yard back, and they would get 5-6 yards against Brawley's defense.
So I'm looking across the field at the Viking sidelines, and I don't even see number 16 out there dressed out. Whether he is or not, I do not see him. And you feel for the kid. He's a senior, been having a good career as a Holtville running back. Good kid, good football player. Let's hope he gets well and comes back next week to contribute. So here we go again. They are going to go for it.
Well, they're lined up to go for it. Let's see what happens.
Snap. And was that a direct snap?
It was. That was what we were just talking about,
and
that
they
sniffer
got it.
play.
That worked several times last week against the Wildcats. On a third and less than 2 yards, they gave it to Higgins. Higgins got the first down, and I'm pretty sure that looked like Merton. Was it Jeremiah Higgins?
Yeah, but was it Higgins last week running up the middle?
Higgins, the 22, the kid that was a sniffer, that they had him lined up there, who's now in the backfield because of the injuries.
Yeah, well, I mean, that play's going to stay the same, and they feel very comfortable with that big line that Holtville brings to this game.
So they have a first down at the 30-yard line, 7:40 remaining in the second quarter. Garcia's a quarterback. They give it to Higgins. Higgins right up the middle. And Higgins may get a yard off of that.
And number 6 for the Wildcats making a tackle, Nathan Villalobos. Ron, that was a gutsy call. That was a gutsy call by Coach Turner.
Well, it's the same thing. It's the same thing that they did to the Wildcats. You thought the snap would go directly to the quarterback, instead it's to the up back. And the up back right now is number 10. That's Merton. That's a pretty big, good-sized kid. He could fall forward for 6 yards easily. Snap is to Garcia. He fakes to Higgins. He's going to roll it to his left. He's being chased by number 6. He's getting some yards, and he's going to get about 8 yards on there. He was being chased down by Nathan Villalobos. Villalobos came from the left side of the defense, chased him all the way to the other sideline. But after that, all that hustling, a gain of a good 7 yards.
And while we have a little break in the action, while they making it 3rd down right now, we have an update score. We have 19-0 into the first quarter, with Central leading the Calexico Bulldogs.
It's going to be a tough night for those Bulldogs.
VSN has Jonathan Butler reporting from over there with our sideline action pictures.
3rd down and 3. And that's another snap directly to, I believe that was Merton. And let me tell you, when they do the direct snap, man, you lose the ball in an instant. So if you're a down lineman, you don't really see that ball seeing where it snapped. And no gain on the play. There was no gain on it. But the back and the quarterback acted as they have the ball.
Actually, it was a gain because it was enough to get them a 1st down, Ron, on that. So Holtville Vikings, once again, driving in the middle of the field.
1st and 10 for the Vikings. They've strung together 2 first downs on this drive. They now find themselves at the 40-yard line, left hash. Same formation. They give us to Higgins. Higgins is going to fall forward for about 2. We'll give him 3 yards on that. Looks like Shaw was on the tackle, number 27. That's and Gostellum on the play. So here we go. We have a 2nd down, gain of 3, 2nd down and 7.
And if I'm reading the number right, number 62 is at center for the Holtville, doing a great job for them.
There's the give, and that is Eiton again. Eiton finds his way. He creases, jumps to the middle, bounces it outside, and he's going to gain a good 12 yards on that. All the way up to the 45-yard line. So Peyton Eiton did some things last week, mainly on defense. Now you're working him, and that's what you do, Will. If you have any kind of depth, I mean, Turner said he's down to his 4th or 5th running back. Hey, if that 4th or 5th guy is a gem, you find him, hey, go for it. So that's a good run right there.
No, listen, he went to the inside, then he popped it. He had enough speed to pop it to the outside and get positive yards, and not only positive yards, but he was able to get a 1st down, 12, 13 yards on that.
Moving the ball, and if you're not getting big chunks, but you're still moving the chains, you're knocking time off the clock, keeping the ball away from a dangerous offense like the Tigers have. So that ball looks like that was given to Higgins again. On the tackle again is Shaw, number 27, and I believe that's number 38. I'm not sure if he turned his number. 4 yards, that looks like number 36 for the Tigers. And that would be Daniel Mendenhall. So good play by Mendenhall and Shaw. Shaw, I'm pretty sure they're lining up Shaw like a
up on the line,
he's up on the line.
Monster.
He's we in the old days we call them defensive ends. Now they're outside linebackers.
Yeah.
So here we go. Garcia's a quarterback, and it's a bad snap. Maybe they were trying to do that snap to the sniffer.
Yeah, the ball was there, and it was happened right in front of us, and lucky that bounce came right back to him, but it was already too late. There was too much penetration from the Imperial Tiger defensive line.
And, you know, what they may start doing is just start sending, looks like a timeout for the referees. They're sending a player out maybe. What could that be, equipment? Could that be blood?
No, that's probably equipment, or because I don't see a timeout. I don't see a timeout by either team. There might just be an equipment, and then as long as they replace it.
Winding it back up with 3:59 remaining, the clock is going to start moving. 3rd down and 8.
Okay, and while we have a little break right now, we'd like to help one of our sponsors with a little bit of information for them, the U Company, with all your senior portraits of your local high schools and live events. Call the U Company. Look on VSN Sportsnet website for more information.
3rd down. Garcia's looking. He's going to throw the fade, and he's aiming for Mays. Incomplete, overthrown, and into the sideline. So Not a chance there for a completion. It was a fade that worked a lot last week against the Brawley Wildcats.
Well,
all their passes were on sidelines, very well thrown, well defended out there.
And when we mean well defended, that was excellent.
Covered them, covered, man.
Yeah.
There was nowhere to throw the ball but out of bounds. So we have a 4th down for the Vikings. 4th down from the 44-yard line. Timeout for the Vikings. Turner wants to talk this over, Will.
And with Turner calling a timeout for the Holtville Vikings, we have 3 minutes and 31 seconds left in the half with, of course, the score still 0-0. Right now, it leaves the Holtville Vikings with 1 timeout, Imperial Tigers with 1 timeout. And we will be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to Imperial Tiger football field. With the score 0-0, 3:31 left in the half. We're going to announce another score. Brawley 22, Southwest 7 with 7:47 left in the second quarter.
Back to throw for the Vikings was number 2, Damian Rodriguez, incomplete, intended for Mays. And it was complete. I thought he had lost it, but all the way up to the 30-yard line.
Whoa.
So that's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Vikings inside the 30-yard line. We'll say the 29. So a great throw by Damian Rodriguez. And the quarterback rotation is working for Turner and the Vikings. Damian Rodriguez stays in. The halfback is number 24, and that number 24 is Peyton Eiton. And they give another pass, and that's number 8. That's C.J. Nunez. C.J. Nunez catches it for a 1st down, gain of 12. They're spotting him for another 1st down inside the 15. We're going to say 17-yard line.
Well, so Imperial Tiger defense here is
they're on their heels.
Yeah, they're on their heels right now. But this is where it's been getting tough for both teams. Let's see what Turner can do once he gets he's right outside. He's on the 22-yard line. Let's see what the offense can do for the Holtville Vikings.
Ball on the 16. Damian Rodriguez stays in. He fakes to Eiton. He throws a little quick hitch to number 4. That is Jonathan Heraz. Heraz open, tall target. Way too low for a big guy to reach down and get that. Incomplete pass, 2nd down and 10. Like we said, they're at the 16-yard line, marching in. 2:40 remaining with an incomplete pass. The clock stops.
I'm
and
sorry.
this is the deepest anybody's gotten. Well, I mean,
yeah.
I think Imperial got maybe to the 17-yard line.
Yeah, I read the marker wrong.
So we have 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. He fakes to 24. He throws. It is overthrown, intended for. Is that Taylor? Well, defended well. That's number 8. That's C.J. Nunez, and defended by number 4 for the.
Andrew Luna, number 4 for the Imperial Tigers.
Luna's been on some coverage on some pass plays. He's been there. The defense looks like it's anchored by number 51, Ramos. Ramos, number 51, is a senior linebacker.
And that's one of the things that happen, Ron. When you have a lot of seniors on this football team, you have to step up. The next guy has to step up.
3rd down and 10 for the fake again. He's going to throw again. He's aiming and throws right behind Heraz, Jonathan Heraz. So for the 3rd completion in a row, incompletion, makes it a 4th down from the 16.
That might have been a little miscommunication. You had the Holtville receiver turning on the inside, and the quarterback threw the ball to his outside. Maybe a little miscommunication on that play.
We have a 4th and 10 for the Vikings.
Now, this 4th and 10, Ron, is of course, they're not going to go for the field goal. They're lined up to go for it.
Rodriguez is being chased. Rodriguez is going to be brought down by number 50. And who else was out there? Number 50 and 51. So like I did, we just talked about Ethan Ramos. He was helped by Jeremiah Naylor. And they brought down Damian Rodriguez for a fourth down sack, turnover on downs.
And just an excellent play calling on the defense, Ron. You know, the one time they decided to play and they really got to him. So, with 2:22 left, God, Holtville took off a lot of time off the clock there, Ron.
Took a lot of time off. Here comes the Tigers again. And they give it to Adams up the middle. Adams finds way. He's at the 50. 45 works his way up to the 50. They had trips left, spread them out right up the middle. So now here we go. How fast are they going to go? 2:13 remaining. They get a first down all the way up to the 49-yard line. No, it's right at the 50, right at the 50-yard line. Trips left. First and 10 for the Tigers. The give is back to Adams. Adams found a way, but quickly brought down by Ryder Merton, man. Ryder Merton again on the tackle. No gain on the play. Brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
They might have caught the Holtville Vikings little backpedaling on that previous play. Good for about 35 yards, Ron.
So we have a second down and 10 from the 50. Joaquin Alvarado's been managing the game. He's looking. He has a man throws to number 1, and that's Nichols again. I mean, Nichols is finding the spot, and he's getting open. He sits down. Alvarado, tall guy, can spot the receiver. First and 10 for the Tigers at the 40-yard line. Let's say the 39-yard line of the Vikings.
Brought down by number 9 of the Holtville Vikings, Dorian Mays.
Dorian Mays. So here we go. They're working fast. 1:18 remaining. How many timeouts do the Tigers have? 1. Here's a rush by Heraz. He's harassed. And there's Merton. Merton got him by the collar. Heraz has him and finally brings him down. So you had two of the biggest kids on defense out there. You had Merton coming at him, took a shot at him, missed him. Heraz took a shot at him, missed him. And then finally, Heraz gets him again.
And it looks like we're going to have a timeout by Imperial Tigers with 57 seconds to go. I do believe that is Imperial Tigers' last timeout. And this is where Shaw wants to be. Shaw, I mean, as it is, Shaw wants to air it, so somebody's got to get some kind of points on the board. So he says it might as well be me. And VSN, Will Torres, and Ron Rubio will be right back.
After that loss of 11, the ball's back at the Imperial 49-yard line. You're looking down a second down and a mile to go for a first down. Honestly, it's 20 yards. Alvarado looking to his right. He throws. Intended for number 5. That's number 5. Luis De La Torre, incomplete pass. Well covered, well covered.
Yeah, it's going to make it fourth down, Ron. And I do believe Coach Shaw will go for it. The only thing is, though, it stopped the clock, and that leaves us with 52 seconds to go. So the clock will stop with a change of possession or a first down, whether Imperial Tigers get a first down or change of possession and the Holtville Vikings get the ball. Let's see what happens on this next play.
3rd and 20 for the Tigers. They're at their 49-yard line after that 11-yard loss on the sack. Back in the backfield with Alvarado as a new running back. It is. It's still Adams, and he's looking, and would look like it was intended for. That was for number 4, Andrew Luna. The real interesting fact about Andrew Luna, great wrestler, just signed a wrestling scholarship with Nebraska Wesleyan University. So congratulations to Andrew Luna and his family. Job well done.
No, that's just one of the things you get a stud. That kid's a stud wrestler. Ron, we have 46 seconds to go. Holtville has 1 timeout left. And, let's see what Turner's going to do. Is he going to sit on the ball, or is he going to try to get that ball in the end zone?
If there's any time on the clock, my money's on it. He's going to try to get some points, man. Back to punt. I wish I could see this kid's number, but from up here at our vantage point, we cannot. And I do believe that's number 13, Ethan Gonzalez. So it's a little roller and a very effective punt. Why? It's inside the 20-yard line to the 15. They have to go 85 yards for any kind of point.
So Holtville Vikings will take over with the ball being placed on the 15-yard line, 34 seconds to go.
So what do you do, Will, if you're the Vikings right now? 34 seconds.
Well,
do
look.
you go into the half 0-0, or do you try to make something happen, man?
You don't want to make a mistake deep down here. That's one of the things you don't want to do. But Turner's a different breed, though, Ron. Turner's a different breed. He has so much confidence in his team that he might try some kind of flea flicker. I don't know. But he is a different breed where we don't always know what we're going to expect. It's not going to be the normal. And that's what we like about Coach Turner.
That's what we like about him. That's why his team is right now battling the Tigers. It's a 0-0 game. And it looks like they're going to take a knee. They're happy with this. Hey, they're happy with this. 0-0 at the end of this. It's similar to last year. I think it was maybe 7-0 score.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. But
it was 7-0 Imperial Tigers.
So the clock is winding down, 22 seconds, 20 seconds. Looks like the Holtville's happy with this. They're content with this. Let's get back. Let's get a rest, halftime, and see what the second half brings us, Will.
And while the clock winds down right now, we have another score in Brawley. With 6:34 to go in the second quarter, we have Brawley Wildcats 30 and the Southwest Eagles 7. We're waiting on the score at the El Centro Calexico game, waiting on Jonathan Butler from the U Company there to do all your high school senior portraits and any kind of wedding and quinceañeras. Ron, while we go into halftime, we're going to have a special guest here. We're going to have Vic Cruz. He's the athletic director for Imperial Tigers. Not only is he the athletic director, he's a little bit of do everything. So we're going to ask him a couple of questions about the athletics going on here at Imperial High School, and we're going to ask him where we are in sports right now as with COVID, because look, COVID changes every day, Ron. COVID changes every day. So what we might talk about right now and what might be the rule in Imperial County, it might change on Monday. So
How it goes.
Will Torres, Ron Rubio, VSN. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We are at halftime with a little bit under 8 minutes to go. And let me give you a little score updates around Valley. So with the score at 32-0, closing in with about 4 minutes to go at El Centro and the Calexico Bulldogs, the score is 32-0. Now, up north in Brawley, we have a halftime score right now. Brawley Wildcats 30, Southwest Eagles 7. So with us right now is our reporter. He's our media content manager. Is Jalen Fong. He's going to come with the halftime report on the stats for the Holtville Vikings and Imperial Tigers. Take it away, Jalen.
So, both teams have had really good chance moving the ball down the field, but neither of us has been able to convert when they're in the red zone, either by a penalty or by a big sack.
Snack bar run?
Number 22 for Holtville has 10 rushes for 33 yards. Alvarado, the quarterback for Imperial, is 5 of 12 for 50 yards passing. 28 for Imperial has 8 rushes for 53 yards.
All right, and those are our stats for our halftime score right here of 0-0. Like Jalen mentioned earlier, we are witnessing a football game that's being played in between both 20-yard lines. What's the sound going on in the field down there, Jalen?
Downfield, both Coach Shaw and Coach Turner are telling their team to maintain discipline. Many of the first downs that have kept the drives going have been the result of either a missed assignment, which resulted in a sack, or a missed procedural penalty that has kept the drive going. So both teams have been able to maintain control of the ball. It seems that once they get down to around their opponent's 20-yard line, they've stalled and both teams have turned over the ball on downs twice.
Yeah, well, that's one of the, and we're actually seeing that from both teams, right, Jalen? Once they get close side the 20-yard line, for whatever reason, they're turning the ball over. One of the other things we're seeing right here, Holtville comes in. They come in banged up a little bit. First play of the game, they have one of their running backs injured. He actually started, was that Higgins that was injured on that play? That was Higgins. He's actually came back and, they're down at the running back position, with Ramos out and DeVoe out, and then Higgins has to pick up the weight for the Holtville Vikings. The good thing about it, their line has been healthy and has been intact, and that's what's keeping them forward. On the other side, you have Coach Shaw with his Imperial Tigers, which is a young team but very aggressive team, where the unity is really tight on here, and they're the type of team that just go. So that's we're actually witnessing a very good football game with the score 0-0 with about 4 minutes to go. Jalen, what are your thoughts right now before you go down back on the field?
Well, Coach Shaw's game plan is primarily to run the ball and get these quick 5-yard hitch routes, which they've been very successful in. When Alvarado throws the ball down the field, either he's throwing it into coverage or he's missing an assignment with his receivers down the field. These 5-yard little hitches that are giving them first downs and are setting up with their run game, it's giving them quite a bit of success. Their main focus is to just maintain yards and distance. Once they get down to a second and third and close, they tend to have a lapse in momentum and allow a sack or a procedural penalty.
Well, right now, when both teams come back on the field, is it fair to say that this can be anybody's ball game right here?
Absolutely. Holtville, they haven't scored against the Imperial Tigers in the last 2 outings. This is their game for the taking. A lot of people have high hopes for this Holtville team. They came up short last week in a heartbreaker against Brawley. And, if they want to get their season back on track, I know it's an abbreviated season, what better way to do it than, beating your rivals here on their home turf.
And on the same side, Imperial Tigers, them being the young team, a couple of seniors. I mean, not a big. They do have a lot of seniors on the team, but the returning is a couple of handfuls. They got something to prove too. Brawley comes into town next week, so we're going to be looking at a great matchup next week. So both teams have to come out here and prove something to the rest of the Imperial Valley.
Correct. This is Imperial's first game of the year. Of course, this is not under normal circumstances, but all these kids out here who are out here on this field want to win, regardless of time, place, opponent. This is a scoreless game, and this is a game anybody can take.
And thank Jalen, before you go back down the field, we'd like to appreciate you. And if Jalen, you remind everybody, they'll be able to see tomorrow's story tomorrow.
Absolutely. A full recap of tonight's game will be available on VSN's website, as long as a short video.
And that's on vsnsports.net. And a day after that, we will have highlights tonight, too, ready for tomorrow. And all the content that we get for tonight will be up within, tomorrow and the next couple hours after that. So much appreciated, Jalen. We see you down there in the field. And with under 2 minutes to go, the Imperial Tigers back out here. Everybody's warming up to hit it back out here. Will Torres, Ron Rubio will be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Once again, I'm Will Torres with VSN. Check out our editorials and our highlight captures on VSN Sportsnet, also on VSN YouTube. You can also be found on our Facebook page on Facebook. So we're ready to go. We're ready to go. Ron, what are your thoughts on the first half?
Well, my thoughts on the first half is this. Holtville has the game where they want it right now. It's a 0-0 ball game, which is a scoreless game, meaning it's close. And for the Imperial Tigers, it could be a little bit frustrating for them. They're moving the ball. They're not getting – neither team is getting the ball in the end, so the defense is dictating this game. And I think something's got to give. And let's see what kind of adjustments were made, just like last week in our game against Brawley versus Holtville. Adjustments were made on one side of the field, and it turned the whole game around. So let's see this is a game of adjustment. That's what the sport of football is, man. Things don't go your way the first two quarters. You go in at halftime, you go into the locker room, hey, what happened? What can we do? Can we adjust? Do we have the place to adjust on defense and offense? And you take it from there, man. So let's see where the chips fall right now.
And while we have a little bit of time before the action starts on the field, once again, tonight's game is being dedicated to a big-time Imperial Tiger fan, Imperial Tiger booster, Tammy Derrick. Coach David Shaw and the Imperial Tigers wish to dedicate this football field to him versus Holtville. And one of the cool things that Coach David Shaw and the community did, they actually went ahead and put a TD on the back of their helmets representing.
Oh, that's cool.
So when I don't know if you're able to see it, maybe we can get it up close, but there is a TD and it stands for Tammy Derrick, and everybody here on this football team is proud to hear it. Also like to send get well wishes to Shappy out there. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, buddy. So we missed you on the sidelines. We'll see you around. Take care of yourself. All right, Ron. Holtville's getting ready to kick off. Imperial Tigers will get the ball starting the first half, and let's see what each coach did at halftime to make. Let's see what kind of adjustments to make a difference on this football game.
So here we go. Velarde's out set to kick for the Vikings. That's number 40, Velarde. That's Fermin Velarde. Kicking off to number 4. Back to receive is Andrew Luna. Andrew Luna, the kid we just mentioned, just signed a scholarship to go to Nebraska Wesleyan University. Back with Luna is, I believe, number 6. Well, can you get a number on that kid? I'm not sure.
Back to receive, it's number 4, right?
Number 4, and the kid next to him.
Yeah,
I just can't read his number from right here.
Well, I just love the way they read they have their jerseys. They fit so tight. I actually love that look. And it's number, it's either 5 or 15, Ron. Nope, and it's got to be number Luis de la Torre.
Well, here we go. The start of the second half is about to happen off the foot of Fermin Velarde. Velarde with the kick, and it's an onside kick, and a beautiful bounce. It takes a hit, recovered by the Vikings. So the Tigers had their hands on it, and I believe that is number 25, who did field it very well. That might have been Alejandro Miranda, and it may have bounced off his hands. Alejandro, forgive me if that wasn't you, but well executed, and what adjustment. Ball at the 47-yard line of the Tigers, first and 10 for the Holtville Vikings.
And
nice.
That's one of the first things they decided to do. There's Turner, like we talked about in the second quarter, Ron. You know, we don't know what to expect of Turner because listen, we that's his style. Hey, listen, you're not gonna get the same thing from me every time, man. All we want is a little bit of opportunity.
The rotation of the quarterbacks continue. We have Eric Garcia back there, back with Higgins. Higgins up the middle. Higgins is going to work his way up to the 40. I think they stopped him at the 45-yard line. And let's see, on the stop was number 51, Ethan Ramos. Ethan Ramos on the tackle, gain of 2 yards.
And also there for the Tigers is number 64. And that'd be representing is Humberto Sanchez.
Here we go, Eric Garcia, same set. They've been staying in this set. They give us to Higgins and back to number 6. That's C.J. Johnson. And it was figured out by number 51, Ethan Ramos, all over the field. He got a hand on him, high.
That's all it
hit.
took. Yeah,
that's all it took.
Just to slow him down, to get him off balance right there. And that Johnson, once he gets that ball, once he leaves his formation, that kid is quick on his feet, Ron.
Quick-footed and was knocked down for a yard loss. So now we're looking now at a 3rd and 11. The ball's at the 48-yard line.
Once again, Will Torres with Ron Rubio, VSN. Make sure to visit our website at VSN Sportsnet. Score is 0-0 with 10:48 and clicking down in the third quarter.
Eric Garcia's looking. He throws to his left, and it's picked off. Picked off by number 36, and he's all the way rumbling down to the 35-yard line.
And now, this is one of the first times we've seen this season. We got the crowd up on their feet.
Daniel Mendenhall with the pick. It looked like the ball was intended for him. It was thrown right at him. I don't know if the quarterback seen him or not. Either way, Mendenhall with the play, and not only a pick, but a great run back.
Yeah, he was actually able to get about 15 yards on that, putting the Imperial Tigers in great position.
Great field position all the way up to, I'm going to give them at the 37-yard line or about the 38-yard line of the Holtville Vikings. So they're starting deep in the territory, the first drive of the second half. Joaquin Alvarado still at the controls of the quarterback. And that's the give to Adams. And it's a fumbled snap by Adams. Merton was there, almost had it. And a very fortunate bounce right up back to Adams as he fumbled the handoff.
And Ryder was right there, able to get it, couldn't hang on. The ball went right through his hands and was
and
not
like
able
us-
to recover.
Football never takes an accurate bounce, but for the Tigers, it was a perfect bounce, straight back into the arms of Adams. Double set. That's two receivers on both sides. Joaquin Alvarado at the controls. It gave us back to Adams. Adams worked his way up to the middle, bounces it up to the right, and now started the dive up the middle, bounce it off to the right for a gain of, I'm going to give him 8 yards on that. 7 yards.
This is
Now they're moving the ball. They got the turnover.
But we're also starting to get in the area where none of them have really injured, Ron, inside the 20-yard line.
So the ball is maybe right inside the 29-yard line, maybe outside the 30. Alvarado again to Adams. Adams up the middle. And I think Shaw's seen something there now. We have it. He's just running the ball up the middle. They're moving. The line is moving. Adams signals first down. Good run by Adams. 2 good runs in a row.
You know what I think Coach Shaw sees? He sees that Adams is just a fiery running back. He gets that ball and he just shoots. He's got one direction to go, and that's north, Ronnie. Picking up quality yards every time he touches the ball.
Shaw's asking him, we're right behind the sidelines to give us a fake, and Alvarado keeps it. RPO, and it's incomplete.
And that'll goes down as an incomplete pass, like you said, Ron.
Incomplete forward pass, and there's that run option. Fakes to the back.
It was actually a well-designed play
Well
on that.
designed. The guy was wide open right through his hands.
Yeah. So we're starting to see Coach Shaw open it up a little bit more. I mean, Coach Shaw does have confidence in all his plays and players, and then at halftime, I'm sure they made a little bit of adjustments, and maybe they're going to try some new things, what they saw with the Holtville defense.
Second down at the 25-yard line. Alvarado has 2 receivers on both sides. Check that. He has trips to the left, 1 receiver to his right. Adams is the single back. And it's a little bunch that I like, that little bunch that they have down here. He's looking. It's a hitch to number 4, and number 4, we've been calling him all night, Andrew Luna. Great rally by Heraz and Johnston to the ball. Holtville swarmed that play. Gain of nothing, gain of 0. It's going to be 3rd and 10. So you're looking at a 3rd and 10.
One of the things, Ron, Alvarado looks like a true leader out there leading that offense of the Tigers. He came in here, he was a backup last year, and they offered him the reins to take over this offense, and he's done very well with that.
Trips right. Alvarado back there with Adams. He's going to look to the single receiver side, and it's right through the hands of Nichols. On the money, a little bit high, but through his hands. Jesse Nichols has been making those catches, so it wasn't too difficult of a pass to complete.
No, covering.
It is a 4th and 10.
4th and 10, covering for the Holtville Vikings is number 9. That is Dorian Mays once again. Good coverage by both defensive
Dorian Mays
backfields.
was there, and Alvarado threw the ball where it had to be, a little bit high, but hey, coverage was there. So 4th and 10, trips right. Is he looking for Nichols again? He's got a rush by Heraz. He gets a hand on him, dumps it off. It looked like a dump. I don't know. They're calling that a fumble?
No,
No,
not a fumble. What he did was he actually bounced it to the ground, but since it's a lateral pass behind, he threw it to the back of him. And John's right there to watch it. So what the White Hats thing is, he's going to ask, did you see the ball? Was the ball forward, or did he throw it back? And so what? So they called an incomplete pass on that, Ron. He called an incomplete pass. And I'll tell you what, Holtville's going to get a break on that one.
Can you explain that for the audience out there? Because even myself, I know that there's that little bounce pass. Some people will bounce a pass, but it has to be forward, Will.
No, negative.
Or
for it to be a legal bounce pass, it has to go back. It has to go back.
Okay.
Forward, it would be an
was
incomplete pass. But what John actually did was he waited for the play to finish, okay, because you can always bring it back. So what he did is he waited till the play was over, and he went and conferred with his flank official. Well, where did you see the ball? He goes, John, I saw the ball going forward.
Where
He
did
goes,
you see it?
I didn't have a perfect view. I'm not going to comment.
And we have a fumble. It looked like Jeremiah Higgins. And so, I don't know. Justice served. Who knows? Things work out like that. David Shaw pretty upset about it. I've never seen Shaw that upset. And, anyhow, first play after the turnover on downs, Holtville gives the ball right back to the
And
Imperial
something we
Tigers.
don't want to see
Higgins
on this
the
football
ground.
field. Is that Higgins? So I didn't
That's
get a chance to see.
That's number 22. So that if Higgins is out, that would be the third back that you and I have witnessed in the past 2 weeks go down.
And this is the second time Higgins goes down. So
Now I'm wondering if these are cramps, man. I don't know, but he's got that right leg up in his bent. You hate seeing that. With a little bit of assistance, he will be carried off the field.
now this time is not as good as we saw him the first time.
We saw that. We saw that with DeVoe last week.
Yeah, we
remember?
saw that with DeVoe, and then we saw Higgins in the first quarter go off his own power. Right here, he has to be helped off the field. So it's not good news, but listen, Holtville hasn't missed a step when somebody else has had to step it up, though, Ron. So, hey, you know what? Next man up. Next man up.
Well, with 7:58 remaining in the third quarter, still a scoreless game. Tigers find themselves in very, very good field position. I'm going to say outside the 20. They may be at the 28-yard line. I mean, I'm really up for this angle we have. I'm a little bit, maybe it's outside the 25. Irregardless, under centers, Alvarado for the first time. Give to Ramos. Ramos off the right side, and did he gain a yard? Brought down by number 53. And number 53, I've been waiting to Jose Gomez. Jose Gomez, hard man to block. He was there. And he gains 2 yards. So we're looking at his second down and 8.
Ron, one of the things that Shaw told us that he does do, he rotates his players a lot. If he's got a receiver going downfield, boom, he's going to rotate him. He wants the freshest players available all the time.
Remind me to ask Shaw why he doesn't give Ramos maybe a number 30 or a 40 number. If he's a linebacker and playing running back, why stick to 51? Here we go. The give is to Ramos again. And Ramos is going to work his way up for a host of Vikings on the tackle. Heraz, Merton.
On the tackle for that's Jonathan Hurts again. Now, instead of my questions is going to be for John Seaman, why do they have a 51 in the running back position?
I really want to know. I mean, as a joke to Shaw, I mean, come on. Smart, intelligent guy like you, Coach, come on.
Hey, listen, if it's legal, Coach Shaw's going to find a way to do it. He'll
I
psych him out. Yeah.
I want to know why we can't put a number 70 back there and have him run the ball. So here we go. We have trips to the left, single receiver up to the right. Alvarado's looking to his left, and he's going to shoot it to his left. And did he squeeze that in? And that is,
he's got it. They're going to call that a catch.
Hey,
good job. Excellent
Jesse
job.
Nichols has come through, as David Shaw predicted. He kept telling me this kid is athletic, Ron. And if I'm not mistaken, he said he never played. He hasn't played ever. Well, this junior is showing he can play football.
And this might be the second time we're inside the 20-yard line, Imperial Tiger.
Looks like they're at the 9. That's first and goal from the 9. The sticks are down, so they're inside the red. The cat any closer than this. The give is to Ramos. Ramos is going to bull his way up to the 6. And did he get inside the 5? I'm trying to look where the flanks are. The flanks are spotting it inside the 4-yard line. So it's going to be second down and goal from the 4.
It looks, I'm watching the flank on this side, Castro on this side, and it looks like to be right on the 5 run or right outside of the 5. But what we're seeing is that offensive line taking over for the Imperial Tigers.
Now, I want to know, can the coaches walk down that deep
yes,
now?
they actually widened it up from the 10-yard line. They actually gave him more space, though, Ron.
Alvarado back with Ramos in the backfield. They give us to Ramos again. And Ramos is going to walk in, touchdown.
Yeah.
That's a touchdown. So they put the big man back there in 51, rushed it all the way down there. So that's our first score, the first score for the Imperial Tigers. A 6-0 lead with 5:26 remaining in the third quarter, Will.
Good adjustment made by both coaches. Look, Turner said, hey, listen, man, let's try to turn some things around. Let's go with the onside kick. Boom, they recovered it. And then next thing you know, a pickoff, and he gets good yardage to go down there. But then it turns Holtville's way. They get the ball on downs, but then they fumbled. So this is a result of a couple of plays with about 5:26 to go in the third quarter.
It took us 2.5 quarters to get a score, and here it is, 7-0. So there is the kick. It was up, and it was good. And that was made by number 13. That's Ethan Gonzalez, sophomore, place kicker, gets it through the uprights. So with that said, 5:26 in the third quarter, we find the Imperial Tigers with a 7-0 lead. So what do the Vikings do from here, Will? What do they do, man?
It's not a must. I'm not going to say they're going to have to go down there and score. But what they are going to have to do is if they do give it up on downs on a punt or give it up on downs, they are going to have to put Imperial deep inside their own territory. They can't give them the ball back midfield, okay? Because Imperial's getting momentum right now, Ron, and that's one thing you don't want to see. So what the Imperial Vikings and they're capable. The Holtville Vikings are capable of doing this, Ron. Mm-hmm. They got the line to do it. Higgins is questionable. We don't know what's going to happen, but it's up to the line to come through on this.
Back to receive for the Vikings. Looks like number 9. That's going to be Dorian Mays and C.J. Nunez. The kick, it's a good one. It's going to be fielded by Mays. He drops it at the 10, rolls all the way back to the 2, picks it up. He's at the 10, finds a little wedge. He's at the 15, works his way up to the 16, 17-yard line. Hey, you can't be fumbling that ball. No. Now they're going to start inside their 20.
And it's not just fumbling the ball. It's you're going into, you got a quarter and a half left, Ron. Penalties, mistakes, the mental mistakes are going to have to be minimal. Yeah. Anything can turn in real big, Ron. So yeah, all that has to stop for the Holtville Vikings if they want to keep this game close.
Damian Rodriguez is the quarterback, set back there with him. Looks like Peyton Knighton, number 24. He has 2 backs there, in fact. And looks like another snap to the short man. That's Ryder Merton, and it's another fumble. Bad snap. It looked like it hit his ankle. Looks like he wasn't even ready for it. So they're going to lose a couple of yards on that.
Now, last week there was no mistake at all. I mean, it was clicking. Everything was clicking. I don't see no change with the center or nothing. So I don't really know what's going on with that. 2nd
down and 12. The Tigers look like they're going to put some pressure on him. He's looking. He throws, and it's picked up by number 6, and he's going to Nathan Villalobos with the pick 6. Ooh.
And we were just talking about that, Ron.
Nathan Villalobos with the pick 6. So that that's going to be right now 13-0, 4:38 remaining. The Lightning has struck quick for the Tigers, and not so much for the Vikings.
So to start the second half now, the Vikings have created their own situation that have put them in a bad situation. Besides the onside, them recovering the onside kick, which is fabulous call on that. Now you have 2 picks, one of them for a pick 6. Holtville been shooting themselves in the foot right now.
The kick is up, and it's good. And again, nice kick by Ethan Gonzalez. So that's going to make it 14-0.
And one thing,
after Nathan Villalobos on that pick, and for the same kind of interception, same area. I didn't see a receiver in the area. Did you?
No, there was a receiver, but he was more than 10 yards on the other side of him. Now, as a quarter, and it was the same kind of Oski that they got. I mean, it was in the same position. So I'm sorry, Ron. I didn't see what would happen. Okay.
Nor did I. So
no, they're going to have running into the kicker, and it's going to be assessed on the kickoff.
Oh,
that's what's going on right now. So yeah. Ron, excuse me, what were we talking about before that? Oh, that same play, same guy picked it up. This time he went for pick 6. It was the same pass pattern over there. And, yeah, there wasn't a Holtville Viking receiver within 10 yards around him.
So the game has turned after 2 interceptions, one by Daniel Mendenhall and one by Nathan Villalobos. Defense for the Tigers, making plays, setting up their offense, and that's what you want to do, complementary football. And with that, it's a 14. So it looks like they're kicking for the 45-yard line. So there was not a penalty.
No, there was a penalty because it's a 5-yard penalty.
So it was, right?
Yeah,
okay,
because the ball's usually kicked on the 50-yard line.
And the kick is up. It may take a bounce. It's C.J. Nunez going to field it at his 15. He works his way up to the 25-yard line. So, all this kind of started on that drive, Will, the mishandled kickoff.
Yeah.
That kind of delayed Dorian Mays' return, and they started their drive inside the 20, and, that's never a good sign, man. So
no, especially on that kickoff. I mean, by mishandling that kickoff, I mean, you're getting a hit of steam on there. You're talking 10 yards. You could have been further down the field on that.
So they're starting at the 25-yard line. They're 75 yards from pay dirt. Quarterback still remains Damian Rodriguez. They give us to Aiton. Aiton's going to bounce it. That's number 24. He bounces up to his left. He's got some yards. He gets a first down, maybe a gain of 12, 13 yards. So that's number 24. That's number 24, Will.
And then when you start hearing names like the Aiton, that's just history down there in Holtville. You know, every couple of years there just seems to be a couple of Aitons, either whether it's baseball or football. But that's a big family down there, and always involved in sports.
Very athletic family. Read their name many a times. So we're looking at.
Hey, and look, Ron, this is what the Holtville Vikings have to do. They have to get the ball. You know, I'm not saying get a first down every play, but they do have to get positive yards and create and cut down on the mistakes.
If they could get a score here, it changes the game. Roger, he's looking to his right. And he's being chased. He's being chased. He's going to try to throw, and he's being brought down by number 55. That's number 55, Kai Bishop. Kai Bishop.
I mean, I don't feel that was a need for a flag there. That's just an aggressive.
Well, they didn't throw one.
No, they didn't throw one. I mean,
now you'll say that if you're an Imperial fan, but if you're a Holtville guy, you're wondering why somebody's.
Well, yeah, I understand that. I can see why Holtville fans might have wanted a flag, but to me, the momentum was carrying him through, and he wasn't trying to do anything.
The sack was a loss of 7, making second down and 17. So one positive play, and then you go backward 7. He fakes. He gets to 21 around the corner. Nice cut back, and that number 21 is Isidro Garcia. A little reverse action there.
Yeah.
Got some of the yards back.
Yeah.
Got some of the yards back. Maybe got 7 back. Heck, yeah, he got the yards back. So now they're in a 3rd and 10, a very doable first down. 3rd and 10. The ball is at the 37-yard line of the Holtville Vikings.
And you know, it's those 2 picks are in his head.
Oh,
the quarterback.
big time. You know, you're a little bit hesitant. You're going to pull the trigger. Yes, he is. He's going to throw it. He's open. That's number 8, C.J. Nunez.
And that's going to be a first down run. Hey, I'm going to take that back. I thought he was going to be hesitant. He went right back at him again. This time he had a wide open receiver. Enough for a first down.
And that's
confident.
That's really kind of an easy throw to make. It's a good, safe throw. Why? It's to the boundary, the short side of the field. There's not too many players there. They've tried it before, incomplete, but this time Rodriguez is able to connect with Nunez.
Less than 2 minutes to go in the third quarter.
And here we go. Aiton again up the middle. Looks like Higgins is out. Jeremiah Higgins. Aiton does not have the bulk weight of Higgins, but he's a little bit quicker. No gain on that play. It's going to be second down. Maybe he lost a half yard. Let's say second down and 11, Will.
Second down and 11. 138, 137. Clock kicking down, third quarter. Holtville Vikings, like once again, I know they still got a whole fourth quarter, but they do need to do something right here. And it's not so much a score because they're only down 14-0.
1:24 remaining. The clock is ticking. Second down and 10. As we said, the ball is right outside the 50-yard line, maybe at the 48. Looks Tigers showing blitz. Fake. And looks like a toss over the middle. Oh, right off the hands of Mays.
Covering on
Coverage
that play.
is number 15, Tiger.
Number 15, that's Christopher Tyerman. Oh, and the Imperial Tigers might have got a break on that, Ron.
They got a break right through the hands. Is that Mays? It looked like Mays had it.
I like the confidence of the quarterback. I really do, Ron. He's not holding back. He's going right back to the same side that he got the Oskies on.
Well, you know, man, quarterback is the hardest position to play in any sport, any level, you know. And the kid, we don't know what was going through his mind on those 2 picks, but right now he's kind of redeeming himself, getting a completion here and there. Now we're looking at, what, a 3rd and 10? Rodriguez fumbled the snap a little bit. A big rush by Ramos. Ramos bulldozed the running back. Rodriguez keeps it.
I wonder where they're going to mark him down because, look, Rodriguez, like we said, he is going to get
it looked like he might have stepped out of bounds, so he all that running gained 1 yard off it, a couple of yards since it was 3rd and 11. 4th down now, so 4th down and 9. The ball is outside of the 50-yard line at the 49-yard line of the Vikings. Looks like the Vikings and Turner are going to go for it.
Well, that's a given right now. We're kind of finding the personality of Coach Turner and these Vikings, and when it comes
They're
down to
going
a
to go
fourth down.
for it. So he has two receivers to the right. Heraz is out here. He's looking for Heraz. Heraz is going to, right off his hands. So those are two pass plays right off the hands of the receivers. Catchable balls. The quarterback could not have put in a better spot.
I really thought those were two great throws by Rodriguez. I mean, look, this kid's had to step in at quarterback this game right here, and he's actually done a very good job. There's a lot of positive things going on right here.
I don't know.
At
Yeah.
the same time, though, there was great coverage on both receivers.
Heraz looks like there's a little bit something. I don't see that pep in his step that he had last week against the Wildcats. And he was there, man. The ball was there. So lost the ball. Ball comes back to the Tigers. Turnover on downs. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line of the Vikings. Double set. That's two receivers on both sides. The give is to Adams up the middle. Been effective. Looks like he's stopped now by number 55 of the Vikings. That's Kay Damerol. Kay Damerol, pretty good football player. Plays on the defensive end spot for the Vikings. So 2nd down and 10. And right now is a drive the Viking defense needs to stop. Stop them right now. 40 seconds and counting.
I'm actually enjoying this game, and excuse me, Ron, I get caught up. I'm listening to you, and I get caught up, and I'm enjoying a great ball game tonight on a beautiful evening right here.
Beautiful evening, man.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. You can't, spring football.
24 seconds. They are going to have to snap the ball before the end of the first half. Before
Alvarado.
the end of the third quarter.
Alvarado with the snap. He's looking to the trip set. It's a swing out, and is that a backwards pass?
Okay, I'm waiting to see what
what
they're
do you
calling
do?
on that.
That was intended for number 4, and that number 4 is Andrew Luna. And look, from this spot, we're right even with them. Was it a backward pass?
Well, it's going to be
What's
real
your
close.
call, ref?
So you got John Seaman walking over here, and I believe the problem is it is going to be a backwards pass. The problem is that they're going to mark the ball right where it went out of bounds. So that is a lateral pass. I'm going to call lateral pass.
I'm wondering why our flank down here was on the sidelines going for the ball. So
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, it's going to count as that was a live ball.
It was a live ball.
Yeah.
Had it been recovered by the Vikings, they could have picked it up and recovered it. Instead, it makes it now 3rd and 14.
Which that is key, Ron. Or if that ball would have been forward, they would have put the ball at the previous line of scrimmage.
Yeah, incomplete pass back to the line of scrimmage. So they lose 4 on that. Now makes it a 3rd and 14 for Alvarado. They had trips, and he's going back to the single receiver side. Well defended by number 21 of
Isidro Garcia.
Isidro Garcia. That he
was
open.
looking. If he would have made that catch, he was looking at a pick six.
De La Torre was the intended receiver. Oh, it was there, and a good play, good throw. Regardless, it's a 4th down and 14, and now number 3 back to punt. Looks like that's going to be Ethan Gonzalez. We haven't seen Garcia at quarterback, but he's back to return the punt. He's standing at his 25-yard line. It's a low snap. It's recovered, and it's punted away. He gets it off. Garcia with the catch at the 25. He's bouncing it out to the left side. This will be the last play of the quarter. He finds a little room, makes it up. Whoa! Makes it up to the 40. Looks like Sal Carrillo took a spill out there. And just like a bulldog, he gets right back up.
Yeah, once a bulldog, always a bulldog. Sal Carrillo taking a little hit, but nothing like that, and getting right up.
He got right up.
And that will end the end of the third quarter, and we still have an exciting ball game here. Imperial was able to drive down on one possession and the other one a pick six, making the score 14-0. And you're not having the Vikings give up one bit here. I mean, there's been some close calls going this way. So VSN, Ron Rubio, Will Torres will be right back to start the fourth quarter. Welcome back, everybody, at Imperial High School football game versus the Holtville Vikings. Ron, we have the start of the fourth quarter. It's 14-0. The Tigers are leading the Holtville Vikings. And here we go, ready to start the fourth quarter.
Starting the fourth quarter, Damian Rodriguez to give us to Eiton. Eiton found his way up the middle. He's going to work his way up to the left side and maybe gain 2 yards on that play. 11:50 remaining. Vikings need to make up a 14-point deficit. And as Will mentioned, 2 touchdowns by the Tigers in the third quarter off of interceptions set up by the defense. Mendenhall with 1, Villalobos with the other. And so here's a give back to Eiton. Eiton again on second down, gains a couple more yards. It's going to be a 3rd down and 5.
Nathan Villalobos making sure that the Holtville running back doesn't get any further, putting those shoulders down, making the tackle. Number 6 just comes in there right out of his. I don't know, Ron. Is he playing? Is that a corner or the outside? He's playing the outside.
He's a corner. He's standing out there. He could be the monster. They run a 3-4. He could be that outside linebacker out here. Here we go. Rodriguez fakes the ball. He throws. That's intended for Johnson, number 6. Now,
I'm going to let the fans be the judge of that one, Ron. Even though it doesn't matter if it's a catchable ball or not, it looks like, but that doesn't mean we couldn't have had holding previous to the play.
That's what I was about. Why I caught the tail end of it. I was watching the play action. Maybe there was something the back end saw. So it will be a call against. It's a well-needed call. It's something that the Vikings they'll take it. That's 15 yards, right, Will?
That's a 15-yard penalty.
Pass interference. 15 yards. That's going to move the ball up to the 41-yard line for the Vikings.
Now, one important rule, and it's not happening right here, but I just want people to keep in mind, it's not an automatic first down, Ron. So if it would have been 17 yards for a first down, it would have made it, another play. Here we go, back to live action.
That's Eiton again. That's number 24 for the Viking. That is Peyton Eiton. Eiton's running the ball pretty effectively, getting 3-4 yards a pop. Got 4 on that one. Let's give him a 3rd down and 2nd down and 6. I'm sorry. Same formation. They've been sitting in this all day. Merton leads up. Eiton finds a way. I like that. He didn't see a hole, bounce it back out, and he may have worked his way close to a first down.
One thing we're seeing.
3rd down and half a yard for Eiton. Eiton, man, I like that pick and choose.
Listen, this is what we're seeing. This is what we're seeing. This is what it's about. Hey, listen, we need a guy to step up. Now they had 3 of their running backs go down. Eiton steps up, and Eiton is, give me the rock. Let's go, man. We're not out of it.
3rd and a yard to go. Eiton is back there with Rodriguez, Damian Rodriguez. They give us back to Eiton. Eiton's looking for the ball. He may get it. On the bottom of that pile is number 72 for that looks like Luis Amarias. Amarias on the tackle. Good stop.
First down,
Ronnie.
First
down for the Vikings. They need to move the chains. They need to score quickly. 9:44 remaining. The ball is sitting at the 30-yard line, middle of the field.
They do need to score quickly. I do believe that, Ron. But with 9:30 and counting down, 9:34 and counting down, they're still in good position right now.
The give us back to Ike. No, it's not. He keeps. That's Rodriguez. Rodriguez, well played. And it was well played by De La Torre. De La Torre could not gather him, and Rodriguez was able to get around after the fake. Got around the left end. A gain of 5 yards, 2nd down and 5. So now they're marching. The ball's at the 25. They're in and out of the huddle. They run up. They hustle up. I love seeing that when the linemen run up to they're not walking up there. They mean business. Here we go. Rodriguez takes the snap to give us to Eiton. Eiton weaves his way up. Maybe a yard, maybe 2.
Trying to make the tackle there is a host of Imperial Tigers, but leading the tackle there for the Tigers is number 51, and that's Ethan Ramos.
And we have a man down for the Vikings. You don't want to see that. Looks like a lineman, but pops right back up.
That's number 52. Nicholas Villegas.
Villegas played a very well game last week. Part of the line that helped gain over close to 200 yards. I mean, Ramos ran for 120 last week. And before DeVoe went out, he had 51, so close to 200 yards.
We got a score update up in Brawley right now. Ronnie, the score is 36-7, 7:37 left in the third quarter with the Brawley Wildcats leading.
We have 8:33 remaining in the fourth quarter here. Rodriguez back. The quick snap to Ryder Merton. Merton, is he short? Yes, he's short. He's short by a half yard. They're not giving it to him. So now we're looking at a 4th and less than a yard for the Vikings.
They've been in this position before, Ron.
And the pace of this game has been very quick, well, man. 8:05 remaining. It's just been a fast ball game.
Well, didn't you think that we were going to see a passing game and
I
passing
really thought,
and passing? That's what I thought we were going to see. But, you know, both coaches made adjustments to what the defense was giving them.
you take what they give you. That's, you know, you don't bang your head against a cement wall and expect to knock it down. They're going to take what they can, and that's what they're doing. The give is to Aiton. Aiton bounces it to the right, cuts it back to the left, and he's going to walk in. Nice cutback by Peyton Aiton. Beautiful run.
We were just talking about that. And that's what it's going to take. That's what it's going to take. You got 7 minutes and 37 seconds. You got that famous name, Aiton, coming out of Holtville, making the plays for them Vikings.
Well, the way he's been running those plays, he's seeing something on that defense. He's seeing how they pursue, and he's not hitting it very hard. He's letting them overflow, and boom, he cuts back on it.
Very shifty running back, Ron.
Nice
Very
run,
shifty.
beautiful run, and this is what they needed. 14-6, 7:37 remaining.
There's something going on, Ron, that's making me think they might be going for lining up in a 2-point conversion. Is that correct, Ron?
It could be a 2-point conversion. They hit a couple last week. C.J. Nunez caught a 2-point conversion last week. He could be looking for him. You got Johnson out there, number 6. You got Tyler. You got Mays out here. And what do we have? Delay a game?
That looks
or
like
too many players?
That's going to be a dead ball foul, illegal procedure against the Holtville Vikings.
What? So you're going to back it up 5 yards, Will, from the 3. So now you're at the 8.
I don't think it changes anything, though. I don't think it changes. I still think that Turner's going to go for it. I mean, I personally believe that. He might change the play or something, but I don't think it's going to stop him from going for 2. I mean, every week we learn a little bit more from Coach Turner, you know. The guy likes to go for stuff. He's very aggressive. Look, the guy is like a kid. He's playing football when they didn't think that there was going to be any football out here. I mean, we all get that same enthusiasm that he's got right here. I mean, we're happier than heck to be out here on a Friday night calling a game.
Weather.
We're loving it. We are truly loving it.
Fans out here, I love it. It's great stuff. Okay, so the Vikings will try from the 8-yard line to get a 2-point conversion. Fake to Johnson. Johnson's going to throw back to the quarterback. He's open, and it's underthrown. It was there.
That was actually a good call.
So
good call by Coach
close,
Turner.
but no cigar, as they say. Close. That's going to be close to making receptions over here in the third quarter. They didn't get it, and now this 2-point conversion's averted.
Well, listen, it's not going to.
Not the end of the world, because if they score again, they go for 8, they could tie it up with an 8-point.
They can tie the game.
So the key is now for the Holtville Vikings, hold the Tigers. Can they hold the Tigers? Can Shaw and them, can they muster up a drive, take some time off the clock, win this ball game right now with this drive? We will see.
Well, one of the things you're going to see, I'm not really sure about this, but this is one of the things that you could see David Shaw and the Tigers. Instead of him getting lined up and snapping that ball ASAP, he's going to use those 35 seconds. He's going to, as soon as it gets down to 30 seconds, he's going to use up every second to use up every second he can on the clock up there.
That's kind of the knock on teams that want to be NASCAR, run. Do you have a package where you delay? Back to receive for the Tigers is Mr. Luna, Andrew Luna, and that's number 4. Number 6 is Nathan Villalobos. 2 kids that have done well tonight. Villalobos with the pick 6, and number 4, Luna with receptions and playing great defense. Back to kick is number 40, Fermin Velarde. And here's the kick. The kick, it's another onside, and it's right, too, and recovered well. Scooped up by, do I want to say, number 36? That's Mendenhall.
Yeah, and you know, Imperial Tigers are going to take no chance. Ron, I have an update out of El Centro High School. Beginning of the fourth quarter, we have 45-0. Central Spartans just controlling that ball game against the Calexico Bulldogs. So we welcome everybody from the El Centro game that's been watching the Calexico Bulldogs. Welcome. We actually have a very good game, and Holtville just attempted an onside kick. Imperial recovered. There's 7:35 left in the fourth quarter. Plenty of times. It's not over. By no means is it over. Let's see what Coach on and Imperial Tigers come on a very special night dedicated to Tammy Derrick.
First attempt for the Tigers to give us to Adams. Adam up the middle, and now Adams is going to gain a good 13 yards straight up the middle. Still fighting for yards. Good push.
You know, Adams is running like that's a senior's supposed to run, Ron. That's when you're a senior and you're at the running back position, a team leader like that, that's the way you got to take control of that
When you're
ball.
running behind kids like Wolfgang Horner, number 70, Luis Amarillo's number 72, hey, you're going to gain some yards. Number 78, Diego Valencia. I mean, you've got some big kids on that offensive line. 75, 72, they are huge. Caleb Rollins, great stuff. Number 53 for the Tigers. Travis Shields moving the ball, protecting their quarterback. That's why you have a 14-6 lead right now. We have trips to the right, single receiver on top. That's number 1. That's Jesse Nichols. The give is to Adams again. He's brought down by number 55 of. That's going to be Amaral, number 55, Damarel. He's very good, along with Ryder Merton. Ryder Merton, I've never seen. He's bending down a little bit, tired. The defense has been out there for a while.
I was expecting to see people cramped up, but when you look at the Imperial sidelines right here, they almost have 50-plus players on here. Not
do.
Almost, they do. They have 50-plus players on here.
So here we go. We have a 2nd down and 9 for the Tigers. The Vikings need to get a stop soon. They give us to Adams. It's on the ground. Ramos.
And it is recovered.
Recovered
by number
10.
That is Ryan Merton. How many times have you been calling his name
Ryan
every
Merton,
series?
I could say it all
Between
day.
him and Knighton. Now, this could change things. Wait a minute.
But they say he was down.
Okay,
Coach Shaw is a little bit upset.
No.
Yes, he was. He was looking back here. He wants that clock to run.
Well, I thought you were going to say upset that he didn't get the ball back.
No, and I thought he was pretty upset that we're calling a fumble. But
Now, look, Ron, I didn't see it, but his knee could have been down.
it could have been down, and maybe it was. And so that's what they call. The call was right. It's 3rd down and 7. They're going to go for it in 2 plays. So what? And that's not the thing to do. Number 53, Jose Gomez. That is the 3rd. Repeat, the 3rd offsides by the defensive line of the Vikings, which has hurt them each time. Twice they gave them a 1st down, and now right here is going to give them a 3rd and 3, which they could get in 2 plays.
Ron,
so
you know coaching. You know coaching that once you make a mistake, and it's not a mistake. Once you get a call that doesn't go your way, you can't let that call dictate the next play. You got to let it go. Let the coaches take care of that. You got to be ready to go. But for them to jump off signs on a mental mistake like that, nah, not at a time right now. We have 5:09, 5:08, and counting down. Right now, we're going to have a timeout, and it's going to be against the Imperial Tigers. Will Torres, Ron Rubio, Joaquin Matus, and Jalen Fong, along with Sarah Torres on the camera. We'll be right back.
Third down and three for the Tigers. 5:06 remaining in the fourth quarter. Are the Tigers on the shutdown drive, meaning this is the end of the game if they punch it in? And here's the Alvarado direct snap. He's just going to take it, and he's brought down by number 10, Ryder Merton.
Now, that's what the Holtville Vikings need to do. I mean, you got
Now you got a fourth down, like you said. Well, they need to
Merton.
do this.
Merton, that leader. I mean, he's taking control of that defense of the Holtville Vikings alongside number 50. Is that number 50 playing nose guard for the Holtville Vikings, Ron? I can't really see. Is that Elliot Ortiz?
I'm not sure if that's Elliot Ortiz, but
Oh, it's a 53. It's a 53.
That is
That's
the kid
Jose
that
Gomez.
Gomez, who just jumped off size, kind of redeemed himself, helping Merton on that tackle. Fourth down and 3. Big stop, big play for the defense, big play for the Holtville Vikings. 4:22 remaining. You stop them, you get the ball back. Let's see what you could do with 4 minutes. And here's a give, and that's Adams up the middle, and he's got the first down. So they ran behind that big offensive line.
Yeah.
Boom.
Down.
4:07 remaining, and another set of downs. Well, that's the play. They made the play when they had to, man. They made it.
Now, we've seen both teams score quick, but that's not the problem right now. Scoring right now. Holtville defense has to stop the Imperial Tiger drive right here.
Time is running out. 3:44 in counting. Holtville has 3 timeouts remaining. Will they start using them? 3:37 in counting.
That clock.
They're just going to let it go. I mean,
yeah.
the NASCAR phase of the offense is off right now. Now it's time to kill the clock for the Tigers. The give is to Adams. Adams up the middle. Adams has had a good night. Not sure how many yards he has, but he's adding to that. That's 4 yards. And a timeout for the Vikings with 3:20 remaining.
And that's one of the things you called, Ron. Like you said, you got 3 minutes to go. You had 3 timeouts. You're going to use one of them right now. And it's second and about 6 yards to go, a long 6 yards to go. Now, you have, of course, you're going to see Coach Shaw go for it on 4th down if they don't make it right
It's
here.
4 down. This is 4 down territory. He's going to use it.
So, I mean, just when we were seeing the Holtville Vikings, the Eiton kid just running up the middle, Merkin playing great ball on both sides of the field right now. So, look, Shaw's saying, listen, guys, you know, all we got to do is get another first down. You get another first down, it's going to make it even harder on the Holtville Vikings, Ron.
Well, you know, one thing you have to watch for defensively right now, do you start stripping for the ball? Do you start trying to make a turnover somehow? The guy's running the ball. Now that's on the flip side. Ball security, big issue right now for Adams and Alvarado. Hold on to the ball. The defense, you could be in desperation mode right now. Here we go. We have 2nd down and 6. They give us to Adams up the middle again. He's running behind that big, huge line.
Wow.
There's Damerol on the play again. Damerol has been playing a pretty consistent game on defense. Ryder Merton on his knees, making a stop, helping out. And the clock is running. 3rd down and 3. 3:02 remaining. No timeout called.
No timeout call. You might see one after this. But, Ron, one thing that we do see, one thing that we have seen, 2 great games back-to-back. This is, you know, and Ron, whatever happens tonight doesn't matter because you got the Wildcats coming into town right now.
That's next week, huh?
Yeah, you got the Brawley Wildcats coming in to visit the Imperial Tigers.
So, the give is Alvarado. Gives it, and here comes Ryder Merton, and boom, knocks down.
Just talking about
He just got Ryder Merton, I'm telling you right now, man, that kid is an all-star. I love how he plays that linebacker spot. I think anybody in the league, anybody in the Valley would love to have a kid like him. Anybody in San Diego County football would love to have a kid like him. Great stop, making it a 4th down and 4. 2:28 remaining. How many timeouts left? 2?
Yeah,
wow.
Ron, let me explain something to the audience. A lot of them already might know, but in our camera view, you do have the referee, and he's actually called the back judge. So what the quarterback's doing for Imperial at this moment right now, as soon as he raises his hands, he starts counting down to 5. That's when he knows that the quarterback for Imperial has to get that handoff off so that they use the whole as much time as allowed and take it off the clock. So if you notice that when he raises his hand, he knows, Imperial knows that, hey, listen, I got 5 seconds to get this play off.
And usually in the pros and in college, there's play clock. Some high schools have it, and one of these days the Valley will have it. But it's a cool thing to see, and that's how quarterbacks and coaches manage the game.
Yeah.
Trying to kill the clock. Great thing. That was a great point, Will.
No,
so
I
here
think
we
it's
go.
great communication. You know, everybody knows what's going on in the field. That's
4th and 5, 4th and 5. And here it is again. The defense for the Vikings have got to make the stop if they're going to give their offense an opportunity. Otherwise, game point match. Oh, and here comes a fade. And he's wide open. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Pass intended, Alejandro Perez. Perez was there. The throw was there. No, the execution wasn't there. So it was there.
Whoa.
Almost.
Ron.
Almost.
Ron, I mean, I'm not surprised that Shaw does that. I'm not surprised. I really am not. But could he have left a little crack in the door open for the Holtville
Well,
Vikings?
you have to assume that 2:22 remaining.
He has enough trust in his defenses. That's what he's trying to say. Hey, listen, I'm going to go deep in the end zone. I have enough trust. I got Ray Cope as defensive coordinator. I got trust in the defense. They can stop the Holtville Vikings.
Damian Rodriguez is a quarterback. Eichen is a back behind him. He's got 2 receivers to his left. He's looking. He tosses it deep, and that's number 7. Intended for that was number 7. Julian Reyna. Reyna, we've not called Reyna's name. I don't recall seeing Reyna out there. Looked like he had some speed, though. He got back. Deal is, you're playing a prevent. Your safeties are back a mile. Your safeties are back, 20 yards?
And I didn't see no other receiver near Reyna when I was running.
They had 2 receivers to the left, 1 to his right. And I'm really, really suspicious of number 4. He's out of the game right now, it looks like. And I think there might have been something wrong today. Maybe something was nagging Heraz. He's on the sidelines.
He was a playmaker last week against the Brawley Wildcats.
So here we go. Rodriguez again. He's looking to his left. He's rolling to his left. He may run it. He will. He comes back. He's being rushed by Ramos. He's being flushed and chased by 70. Throws back to to Ryder Merton. So he was being rushed by Ramos and number 78, Diego Valencia. The pressure was there and still made an effort to get a completion to Ryder Merton. Overthrown. And they don't 3rd and 10.
They don't have to waste a timeout, Ron. The clock stops on an incomplete pass, and you have 2:03 left for regulation in the 4th quarter.
4th quarter, 14-6.
And why?
Another timeout for Holtville.
Once again, Nate Fairman with IBEW representing over 800 employees at the Imperial Irrigation District wants to just say a good shout out to all the employees and to support your local high school athletes at your local high school. Also, we'd like to thank Vesey Farms in Holtville. Everything they've done for VSN, a big thank you from. And Frank's Graphics in Brawley. Got all your gear getting ready for next week's game. If you stop by there and pick up some of the gear he's got, Frank's Graphics in Brawley, California. And Will Torres, Ron Rubio will be right back.
Here we go. We have a 3rd down and 10. Doubles receiver. And Rodriguez drills it down, intended for Heraz. Low again to Heraz. Bounces to the ground. So here we go. 4th down. This is going to end. So here's the game, Will. 4th and 10.
4th and 10. 1:59 to go in regulation time. Imperial in their prevent defense. 4th down, 10 yards to go.
At the 20-yard line, they're 80 yards away from making any attempt to get closer for a touchdown.
Hey, listen, Holtville comes in here banged up, and then first play of the game, they get banged up again.
So here we go, 4th and 10. Rodriguez is looking. He's going to toss it. And there's Dorian Mays, and he makes the catch. No, incomplete. Oh, my God. Number 3 on the coverage. Number 2 on the coverage. That was number Devin Mesa was there, along with number 2, Seth Shaw. Hey, man, Dorian Mays made a great effort in and out of his hands at the 50-yard line. And Damon Mesa is the man on the spot with the defense. That's it. The ball will be now in the hands of the Imperial Tigers with 1:52 remaining. No timeouts or 1 timeout for the Holtville Vikings. Hey, there was your chance right there. You had it. What can you do? You can't stop the clock. Pretty sure that the Tigers will
they'll just take a knee with especially, I'm not.
They're going to have to run a couple of plays. They're
Yeah,
going to
they're
have to run a couple of plays.
Hey, give credit to the Holtville Vikings. I mean, they were inches
Fought to
away.
the end.
Yeah,
A minute and a half. 14-6 ball game. Nothing to hang your head down, Vikings. Here's the give. That's Ramos again. Ramos had a drive where he punched it in. It was all Ramos on that one drive. So the 1-2 punch on the running game tonight, Will, was Ramos number 51, which is a surprise, not only because of his jersey number, but he ran the ball well. And number 28, Brennan Adams, very effective run game. So,
well, next week, I mean, I haven't seen, of course, anything what's going on. We only gotten the score updates with the Brawley and Southwest game, but next week's game is going to be very interesting, Ron. Very interesting. You have the Brawley Wildcats defeating the Holtville Vikings by 1 point, and then you have the Imperial Tigers, actually 8 points above and going to lock this game up.
Alvarado under center. He gives it. It was actually I formation and Adams up the middle. Will they punch in another touchdown with 1 minute remaining?
Yeah. So now we have a Holtville timeout right now.
That's it. That's their last timeout with 3rd down and 4 yards to go. 57 seconds remaining.
And before we say goodnight, once again on this very special night, David Shaw, Imperial Tigers community, would like to dedicate and has dedicated this football game
And
to Tammy
season.
and to Tammy Derrick. Once again, we'll emphasize that she is truly missed. She was a proud supporter of Imperial Tigers and always available when it came to the boosters or for any kind of fundraising things. She will be truly missed. So with that said, we move on. Tigers get ready to finish this game out. Finish this game out. They're going to try to, with 57 seconds, no timeouts left for Holtville. Let's see what happens next.
Alvarado under center. They're in I formation, and he's just going to take a knee. Ryder Burton comes in there,
No, that's
and
the only thing
I didn't
is,
see him take. He took a knee and came in there.
I don't want to see anybody hurt.
No.
That's the last thing I want to see. So I don't know why.
The competitor in you, you want to get that ball. If it's a live ball, you want to try to get it. It wasn't a penalty, so it's now you're looking at 28 seconds in counting. Was that the last play of the game?
That is going to be the last play of the game right there. So before the clock winds down on a beautiful
20.
evening, thank God we're playing football again, Ron.
Yeah,
thank
I love
God
it.
we have this opportunity to for VSN to actually showcase, what we really love to do, Ron, and
Love
we're trying
it.
to improve. We're trying to showcase our status here. Once again, I'd like to give a big shout out. We got Jalen. Look for Jalen's articles to come out tomorrow on VSN Sportsnet. Go on there and check out our website. Last week's games on there. All of highlights are on there, and all our past articles are on there. Special thanks to the wizard here, Joaquin Matus. That without him,
We're nothing.
it really doesn't get going. Victor Cruz and Coach Apodaca, he's actually the principal here. Big thank you for them. The hospitality here. I think the setup, Ron, is just
Perfect.
perfect. This setup here in Imperial, they really set us up. I'm thrilled, and I look forward to coming here next week when they'll have the Brawley Wildcats coming into this territory. So it's going to be some exciting football. And that is the end of the game right there. So, from Will Torres, Ron Rubio, Joaquin Matus, Jalen Fong, Jonathan Butler at El Centro, Sarah Torres, we are VSN.